All right, it says it's live, but I don't know. We'll never find out. This is so annoying. This YouTube live stuff. This is my first time, and I don't even know if it's on. Oh yeah, it's shit. We'll never find out. Oh, there you go. Good. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first live stream YouTube abroad Japan thing ever. If it all goes wrong, please forgive me. I'm still working out how to do all this. And I just woken up. There's some people in the comments section who are worried I'd overslept. I haven't overslept, but I did get up a little bit late. I didn't drink my coffee yet, although here it is right here. And I haven't even had my breakfast. I thought I would kick things off, do what I got for breakfast. But first off, thanks everyone for supporting Abroad Japan on Patreon. It's been a really good first month. And yeah, even I've been pretty surprised by the positive response, this kind of good level of support in the first month. So it's really exciting, and the future of the channel seems pretty well assured. So thanks for that. Now then, on to breakfast. So what we got? Look at this. I live next to a Family Mart, so I've got this. Although all convenience stores in Japan do this, and this is the one morning food you really need when you're in Japan, which is pizza man. It's kind of a bread with pizza flavoured stuff in it, which is basically just tomato. So there you go. It looks a bit dodgy because it looks like it's been artificially coloured orange, but it's pretty good. So pizza, isn't it? Pizza. But when possible, I always start my morning with that. And there's a cereal bar. That is good, that is. It's probably not very healthy. It's just basically sugar in plastic, but there you go. It's a cereal bar. I'm addicted to the damn thing. Well, look at that. Cereal bar. I actually bought two of these, and the plan was I was going to eat my breakfast. I was going to eat one of these, and then have the other ones to feature in the show. But because I'm so rubbish and so late, I haven't eaten anything yet. So sorry about that. Let's look at the comments. It looks like a melted burger. It does a bit, doesn't it? The little dude that looks delicious. It is delicious. It is good. It's quite addictive. Took me a while to get into these, but yeah, they're pretty good. And the most popular one in Japan is nikuman, which is basically the same again, it's bread, but it's white and it's got meat in it. It's got like beef or pork in it. So yeah, it's good, very good. Where to begin? Shit. I sat down yesterday in the evening. I looked at what I wrote. This is my notes on things to talk about. And as you can see, there's now coffee on the notes. But I've written down some questions people have asked on the Patreon page. I've written down questions people have sent in. Got the most annoying comment of the week and comment of the week. And yeah, so much to talk about. I don't know where to begin. First thing though, I'm absolutely rubbish at waking up in the morning. So if any of you have any advice how to wake up in the morning or any tips, please write in the comments section. I'm open to anything except exercise. So anything that doesn't include exercise as the perfect way to wake up, please let us know. That's good, that is. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot for that. These are really popular in Japan. It's energy jelly. This one is energy gold. It says here, it's got a little bit of writing, a special jelly drink designed to supply carbohydrates equivalent to one rice ball. The jelly drink provides you with the energy to stay active every day. It doesn't, but it's quite good. And when I'm on the go, I always pick one of these up and sort of just down it while I'm on the move. But it tastes quite nice and addictive. Tastes a little bit like Red Bull and grapes flavour. That's the best way to describe it. But again, really popular in Japan. And that is my breakfast. Jelly, cereal bar, half-eaten pizza man. Right. We have some tips here for waking up in the morning. Just roll out of the bed and hit the floor. Roll out of bed and hit the floor. I haven't. 5 alarms, set 2 minutes apart from each other. You'll piss yourself off so much you wake up from anger. It's pretty good, pretty good advice. What I started doing actually, I set my alarm on my phone, and then I sort of put it the other side of the room. So when I wake up, I have to get out of bed, walk across the room, and then disable the alarm. And by that time, the battle's already been won, because I find once I'm out of bed, it's all right, isn't it? The hardest part. So yeah. That's my tip. Triple your coffee intake. Pro Plus. Fucking hell. That would just destroy you, wouldn't it? 3 coffees in one morning. Oh man. So where to begin? Where to begin? It's as I said, this is my first live stream. I did the live show last year in November, which you may or may not have seen. Well, I don't really count that, as I didn't really manage it. It was by someone else, and so it really is just me now in a room, you know. And it's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. I'd like to have some music in the background, because the difference between a live show and me just sitting in a room drinking coffee and eating pizza bread is just some nice music in the background, isn't it? So I have to work out how to do that next time. And this is actually the first and last time this live show is going to be in this apartment, because I actually got another apartment just yesterday, and it's a lot bigger and actually a lot cheaper. This is a short-term stay apartment. So the plan was I was going to move to Sendai and stay in a short-term apartment for like 2 or 3 months until I found something a bit more permanent. The short-term apartment basically means higher rent. It's cheaper than staying in a hotel. It's kind of the middleman between an apartment and a hotel. And you pay just like 1 month deposit, and then everything's included. So I pay like a stupid amount of money every month. And that includes water, gas, electricity, internet, really convenient. And it was furnished as well, but it's just too much damn money. And it's so small. If you've seen the video with Natsuki, you'll know that I basically live in one tiny room with a kitchen that's just something that resembles a joke. Like, it's really starting to get to me though after a few months of living here. And when I film videos in here, I feel really uncomfortable, I guess, in the sense that in my old apartment, it actually looked kind of like a Japanese apartment. This just looks like a fucking box with a window. And so when I film in this apartment, in the videos, I just don't think it looks very good. So, but the new one looks great. There's a tatami mat room, and there's the shoji sliding doors. It looks like a proper Japanese room. And it's going to be like the best set ever that I've had for a Abroad in Japan show. What am I talking about? It's going to be the best backdrop I've had so far for the Abroad in Japan channel, so that's pretty exciting. And next time you're going to see it. Next month, have someone run the fucking cleaner in the morning as a background noise. I'm not going to use the fucking cleaner as a background noise. Have Natsuki sing the soundtrack. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You know, last week we went out for dinner, and he's got this idea in his head. I'm not even making it up. He wants to start a band. He plays the guitar, and he's a musician at heart who opened the beauty salon. But he's a wannabe musician, and he really wants to start a band. And he wants me to do vocals, but I can't sing for shit. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can rap. No, I can't. I'd much rather have you sing and me just stand in the corner and do nothing." But yeah, Natsuki, how far does Natsuki live away from you? At the moment, he lives about 2 hours away in Sakata. And I live in Sendai, he lives in Sakata. Trip. And yeah, he came on Sunday and Monday this week. And there was a fucking typhoon on Monday. So he had to drive back from Sendai to Sakata in the typhoon for like 4 fucking hours because he couldn't go faster than 50 kilometers per hour. And I was really worried about him, but he made it back right. But the typhoon was pretty hardcore. Hey Chris, do you get a decent cut from the sale of the Like a Magic mug? Might consider getting a few to actually benefit from it. The Like a Magic mug. There you go. Actually, one of the questions on Patreon was, do drinks taste better from the Like a Magic mug? And I have to say they do. They taste of just victory, because it's nice to drink out of something you believe in, which is, of course, Like a Magic. But I had a great idea 2 years ago that I was going to become a millionaire by selling these Like a Magic mugs. And so I set it all up on this Spreadshirt page. Spreadshirt's where you can get t-shirts made and mugs and things. And the unit cost was like $10 per mug. I think it was $10, around that amount. And I just thought, that's too much for a mug. I don't want to sell mugs for like $20 or something like that. But so it's kind of been a running joke ever since. I've got this Like a Magic mug in nearly every single thing I do for product placement for the mug, but I'm not selling the mug really. I am, but it's in a really hidden shopping link. But I am going to push it in a few months because I think people might buy it for $20. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it turns out mugs actually cost around that amount anyway. I thought mugs were like $1, but I don't think $20 is that much for something you use like 2 or 3 times every day. And I use this every day and have done for like every day for 2 years now. So best money I ever spent. And I reckon it would sell really well. So we'll see. It'll be quite interesting. I don't think I'm going to become a millionaire off mug sales. It sounds quite ironic. Get rich off selling mugs. But I think it'll make a good stocking filler or Christmas present. So I'm going to push them. I'm going to start selling them properly in November or December. Video's back. That's worrying. Crap. If the video cuts out, just let me know. Yeah, so where to start? There's one thing I haven't talked about at all, which is a really big deal, which is I won a competition last month for something called Tohoku 365, and it's a competition to go around Tohoku for 1 month and basically film and document the food of Tohoku. The objective is to find the best food in the galaxy. I don't know where that tagline comes from. It sounds a bit over the top, but yeah, basically, the aim was to go around Tohoku looking for the best food in Tohoku, and I applied for it and I actually won. And I think the reason I won is because a lot of the people I was up against didn't really have a big YouTube channel. So it was a little, I don't know if it was unfair, but or maybe just because I'm lucky that I've got a YouTube channel. But yeah, I won, and in September to October for 1 month, I'm going to be traveling around Tohoku, filming all the food for one month. So I've got a huge trip lined up. So as soon as I've got my apartment sorted out and furnished, I'm straight off around Tohoku. So it's a hell of a busy few months. You know, I never seem to sit down. The video is a bit unstable. Probably the temporary internet being no, the internet's really good. If the internet's unstable, that's worrying. Apologies for that. The internet actually in this apartment is really, really good. So, yeah, need help eating all the food. Yeah, I might do. That's where my anonymous cameraman comes in. So I've got an anonymous cameraman coming around Tohoku with me, and they're going to be filming me eating it all, basically. But yeah, it's a good project. Tohoku 365, the amount you win by doing it was 1 million yen, which is $7,000. But then out of the 1 million yen, you've got to pay 200,000 yen tax. So straight away, it's actually 800,000 yen. And you might think, well, that's loads of money. But actually, it turns out that only just about covers all the expenses for everything. You know, hotels, fuel going around for a month, the food. So yeah, I'm not going to profit off it, but I'm going to have a lot of fun. And I'm going to make sure that Tohoku gets the exposure it needs. So that should be good. They're actually for the Abroad Japan channel. So there's going to be 6 videos. I've worked out. This is the genius. This is the clever plan. 1 video per prefecture. So I'm going to have something like the 5 best foods in Miyagi. Yeah, it's going to have a clickbait thumbnail, but fuck it. You need it these days on YouTube. 5 best foods in Miyagi, 5 best foods in Yamagata, etc., etc. Really clever that. If you're ever going to start a YouTube channel, the secret to success is put numbers in your title, like BuzzFeed does. The 5 best things to do this, the 5 best ways to do that. It always seems to work. People click on it. People love numbers, don't they? Oh. What else we got? Honestly, the video being terrible is probably YouTube. If the stream really is that bad, that's annoying. But I'll make sure next month, I'm going to make sure the internet's a lot better. But really, the internet should be good because no one's on the internet this time of morning at 8:15 because they're all going to work and stuff, so weird. But yeah, okay. Crikey. Talking hard, isn't it? Talking non-stop is a little bit difficult. All right, let's look at some questions. These are questions people have sent in from Patreon. What is something you believe, this is from a guy called Robert, who has written this question on Patreon. Robert says, what is something you believe Japan does the absolute best with the rest of the world lagging behind? Good question. I'd say customer service. Customer service in Japan. When you walk into a shop, you get treated like a god. It's amazing. And I think there's actually a saying in Japanese that the customer is God. Like we have in the West, the customer's always right, except they're not. But yeah, customer service in Japan is so good. It's absolutely insane. Like I was at a convenience store last week and it was tipping it down with rain. And I was in the convenience store and I said to the woman over the counter, oh, it's raining so much outside. You have to buy an umbrella, damn it, because I didn't have an umbrella with me. And she said, wait one moment, and disappeared into the back of the shop and came back with an umbrella, just sort of gave me her own umbrella. And I was like, oh, wow, shit, thanks. So she gave me her umbrella, which is really generous. And so, yeah, customer service is just the next level. In Japan, if something doesn't work, there's never any excuses. Like, I was back in the UK last year, and I was at a train station, and I was going through a ticket machine. I put the ticket in, and for no reason whatsoever, the ticket machine was fucked. Like, the ticket didn't work. And I turned to one of the guys at the train station, one of the station master people, and they were like, I was like, what's the problem? And he was like, it's England, isn't it, mate? That's not a good excuse, is it? Why doesn't it work? It's England, isn't it? What a shit excuse. You can't use that excuse all the time. But I've forgotten that things don't work sometimes. Like, again, vending machines in the UK, it's like more like gambling, isn't it? More than anything. It's like having a gamble. You never know if you're actually going to get the thing you paid for. But in Japan, things just work. And so I'd say customer service, though, is probably the thing that Japan is much better than we are, unfortunately. What else we got? So, Stephen Gasson. What simple thing was hard to do when you first arrived? Going to a restaurant. And it still is a little bit difficult sometimes. Going to a restaurant, because you look at a menu and it's all in Japanese kanji characters. And because we're in kanji characters, you can't look them up in a dictionary easily. You have to actually learn them first. It's like, so it's really annoying. Restaurant menus, that's the most difficult thing. And I feel sorry for a lot of tourists that come. That said, as I mentioned in a previous video, English menus are everywhere. So if you come to Japan, not going to be an issue. Hopefully. I'd say like 40% of restaurants have an English menu, albeit in rather bizarre English. So let's have a quick look at some comments. Holy shit, so once we land in Japan, we're gods. Yes, you are. Honestly, anyone in Japan can vouch for me. If you go to a convenience store, you get treated like a god. Not for when you leave a restaurant, although I don't really like it. All the staff say like "arigatou gozaimasu" and goodbye and stuff. Like there's a restaurant in Sendai, Mexican restaurant. It's pretty good, and I was there 2 days ago. And yeah, when you leave, the whole all 20 staff just suddenly stop and are like, bye, and you're like, fucking hell, Jesus. It's like you can't have a secret, inconspicuous exit from the restaurant. Everyone has to know you're leaving, and I always just find it really awkward. But yeah. What else we got? Saw a few of the Odigo videos with Chris Okano. Some videos were horribly out of focus. Food videos aren't blurred. I want to see proper Japanese, not blurred food, says Michelle. Yeah, all right. Fair point. I try and keep things in focus. I don't think that's been much of an issue, to be honest. How much do you miss cider? I miss it so much. I miss cider. It's on my top 5 list of things I miss the most in Japan, actually, along with sausages, bacon, lasagna. Really difficult to find lasagna. I don't know why. Sausages, bacon, lasagna, cider, and cheese. There's no cheese really. That said, again, I found the bonus about living in a city in Japan as opposed to the countryside is there's actually shops around. And if you're ever in Sendai Station, there's an absolutely huge one. I discovered it a few months ago. They've just got the world's biggest fucking cheese counter. And I saw it and it was like the holy grail. It was like the best discovery I've ever had in Japan. It's actually got like real cheese from France and Europe that's been imported. So sausages and bacon, difficult to find, really depressing. Kanji can fuck itself. Oh my god, I'm new to it, but I'm already new to Japanese. But Hairu and Hito can fuck themselves. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult, kanji, right? It's a hell of a uphill struggle. How fluent is your Japanese? How fluent is your Japanese? My Japanese is, it kind of peaked about 18 months ago. I did a speech contest about 2 years ago now. And in the run up to that, I really practiced Japanese hard and practiced speaking a lot. I won the speech contest somehow, and I was so happy. And then I kind of just stopped studying Japanese for like a whole year. And so my Japanese level kind of went, yeah. And actually, it's gone down a bit now. Especially as a lot of my Japanese friends can speak English, which is, I don't know, yeah, a lot of my friends can speak English. So it's not really an issue, unfortunately. It's not. I don't speak Japanese as much as I should, but it's a real shame. I need to get back into studying a lot more. I actually really enjoy studying Japanese, which is weird because I never enjoy studying anything. But once you reach the point where you've got a lot of the language in your head, it's great because you can actually learn a word and then go off and use it in a conversation, or learn some grammar and then go off and use it. So yeah, learning Japanese is pretty cool when you get to a certain point. Right, what other questions we got? Says, is it true that all beverages taste better in the Like a Magic mug? I've already answered that question. Yes, all drinks do taste better in the Like a Magic mug. Louise Newton says, would living in Japan be super lame without a car? No, I don't think so. Depends where you are, Louise. Where I was before, in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere, without a car would have been pretty depressing. Because there's just so much beautiful stuff to see, and yeah, traveling around is difficult. But if you live in a major city like Sendai or Tokyo or Osaka or whatever, you don't need a car really. And I don't have a car now. I'd love one, and I really would, but there's loads of costs involved. But if you do live in the countryside, definitely get a car. It'll make your time in Japan a lot better, basically. And you can go off and do anything you want. Yeah, kind of. This is the first time in my life in. What year is it? Shit. What year is it? 2007. It's my first time in 10 years I haven't had a car, so it's a little bit depressing. Yeah. I wish I had a car. But yeah. Caleb Conyers says, have you successfully felt like you've fully transitioned to living in Japan? Do you feel as if you can claim it your home? You know what? Again, my feelings on that have changed. When I lived in Sakata, the other side of Japan, when I was working as an English teacher, I felt like it was my home because I was there 3 years. I had a stable job and I was involved a lot in lots of community stuff, and I had lots of friends. And I think the defining factor as to whether you feel accepted or part of, you know, if you can call Japan your home, is just how many friends you have, and if you have many friends. In my first year in Japan, I felt like a glorified tourist. And it wasn't until my second year that I really started making lots of Japanese friends. I met Natsuki, and everything really changed from there. But then I moved to Sendai in January, just on a working holiday visa. So I had no job as an English teacher. I only knew 2 people in Sendai, and I basically came here and started all over again. And my feelings on that changed. I suddenly felt like, oh, I'm just a guy living in Sendai. Because I don't really have much of a community involvement. So I think that feeling can change. And I think that feeling of calling Japan your home and claiming it to be your home just depends on how many friends and stuff you have and how integrated you are in a community. And if you have a place in a community, like if you have a job. And yeah, I don't have a job as an English teacher anymore. I just do YouTube now, which is a little bit scary, but it's a bit of a risky route to take. But I do feel like a bit more accepted in Sendai now. Why did you move to Sendai? Says Bevan. Why did I move to Sendai? I moved to Sendai because I wanted to stay in Tohoku because I love Tohoku, and I have lots of friends around it. And I just didn't want to live in Tokyo. Tokyo is too damn big for me. And I knew if I lived in Tokyo, I would never leave it, because a lot of my friends who live in Tokyo don't ever see Japan, because Tokyo is like a huge bubble in itself. After all, there's like 36 million people live in Tokyo, and it's like several cities in one. We just don't leave it. So I thought if I lived in Sendai, yes, I'd often go to Tokyo, but I'd still be kind of in the countryside. And also, I really want to promote Tohoku. That's one thing I've been working on. So my friend Ryotaro, who features in a lot of these videos recently, lots of the travel videos, we're kind of working as a team to try and promote Tohoku and go around to different places in the region. Although, thanks to passing the reward level on Patreon, which is $1,200, I think, I'm going to make a lot more videos in Tokyo. And the first one of which is out next week, which is about the skyscrapers of Tokyo, the best observation deck in Tokyo, so that should be good. But yeah, I just want to help support it, because it's such a beautiful and amazing region, but actually no tourists come, but there's so much to see. Like, I think if you were to have a 2-week trip to Tohoku, you'd have the trip of a lifetime. So yeah, I'm going to really push that in the coming months. And that's my little plan, to feel like I'm doing something more than just making YouTube videos, right? My sort of being in Japan is to help promote Tohoku. All right, what else have we got here? Do you have thanks for the glorified tourist? Thanks for the glorified tourist term, by the way. It was a crowd pleaser in my Interact interviews. Oh, good. You went for Interact. Nice. Okay. More questions. Steve Bennett says, for somebody who has made it through Genki 1 and still isn't progressing with Japanese, what would you recommend for a plan to learn the language on a day-to-day basis? All right. I certainly haven't talked about this enough, but I would recommend using something called Anki. Again, I mentioned it in a video a few years ago, but Anki is the secret to winning at Japanese. And every single person I know who's like got really good Japanese, who's been learning it, has used it. I'm going to show you the app now. Only thing is, it's a little bit pricey on iOS. I think it's like $20. But again, for something you use every day, RS tool, which means space repetition tool, space repetition system. Share. I don't know my acronyms, but here it is. So here's my DEX, okay, for learning Japanese. So you basically input. It's basically a flashcard system with a computer attached to it. So here's a sentence here I've put in. This sentence is I'm trying to read off my own screen. Kaimon no kyaku tachi ga hodo wo usoide ita. I wanted to learn the word hodo, which sounds like Hodor out of Game of Thrones. Oh, the door! Hodo. I wanted to learn that word for pavement or sidewalk. So I looked up the word, I found out it was hodo, and I put it in this sentence. So I looked up the sentence in my dictionary, and then I input it into Anki. So I read that every day, and if I can read it okay, I click on here, and then I say, oh yeah, it was easy, 4 days. You choose, if you remember it easily, press 4 days, and you'll see it again in 4 days. If you couldn't read it, you press the red button there, and it will come up again in like 5 minutes. And if it's a little bit difficult, you can like press this 1, 2 days, and it'll come up tomorrow. So it's a flashcard system with a computer built into it, and it means like you can learn things, you can learn a new word, and then you can review it the next day, or the day after that, the day after that. But a lot of people that learn Japanese use this every day, and I certainly use it every day to learn new words, because when you learn a new word, you really need to use it as soon as possible. And by using this, it means you actually use it several times in 1 week, and then it's in your head. So a lot of people who have passed JLPT N1 in Japanese have used that. So highly recommend that. That's the best way to progress. And you can start now. If you're using Genki 1 or Genki 2, whatever, input your vocabulary into Anki. But do it in a sentence as well. Make sure you do it in a sentence, not just a standalone word, because you need to have the context behind the word. Like if I just had Hodor on my flashcard, then I don't know if I remember it as easily because there's no context around it. So yeah, make sure you use a sentence. So make sure you get the sentence from a dictionary app like, or a dictionary website like JDic. Sounds inappropriate. JDic, Japanese dictionary on the internet, or an app, or the best app for Japanese dictionary stuff is shit. Where is it? There we go. This one on iOS. This is bloody good. It's just called Japanese. I think it's a paid for app, but so what I did, I went on here, I typed in pavement or whatever, and got the word come up there. And then you can see the word, how it's used, the kanji it uses, example sentences, and then I just sort of copied that, put it into Anki, and used it. So, although Anki is free on Android, bloody lucky Android users, it's free on Android and it's free on computer or Mac, and it all syncs up. Once you use it on an email address, it all syncs up. So, highly recommend using that. Is it? Shit. There you go. The Japanese app is free. It's just called Japanese. It's a dictionary app, and it's the best thing since sliced. So, which is really cold now. Ugh, damn it. All right. Crikey, we've already passed the half hour mark. It's supposed to be half an hour long, but I'm going to make it an hour just because time seems to pass very quick on a live show. And I haven't even done comment of the week yet, or most annoying comment of the week. Oh. Take a breather. All right, let's look at some comments. Have you been to Yokohama yet? Yes, I've been to Yokohama several times. Really awesome place, actually. If I was going to live in Tokyo, I wouldn't. I'd live in Yokohama. It's all part of the same huge city, but yeah, Yokohama's a little bit different. It feels a bit more modern, and I think it used to be the place that traded with. Oh no, I don't know what I'm talking about. No, it's someone else. But Yokohama, really cool place, actually. Highly recommend visiting there. What are your thoughts on Tai Kim? And is it effective on its own or best paired with something like Genki? Well, Tai Kim. Tai Kim is another app. I'm eating my pizza, Mum. Sorry. Here's another app, then, as mentioned here by Bevan. Here's some apps that I use. Actually, I don't use that one, that's a bit shit. Tai Kim, and it's gone, bollocks. Tai Kim, it's a grammar app, so you can learn grammar on the go. Here's all these grammar lessons. Again, this is completely free, and actually it's just started off as a website. I think they made it into an app. This is amazing. It teaches you all the basic grammar that you need for up to maybe N3 level, N2, no, sorry, N4, N3 level Japanese. Really, really good. Really easy to read as well. Highly recommend it. Cool. By the way, as some of you know, we passed a few targets. We passed the $500 target in the first month, the $1,200 target, and the $2,000 target, which I wasn't anticipating that to happen so quickly. Otherwise, I might have made the goals a bit higher. But anyway, $500 target was the Natsuki Q&A video, and I submitted your questions to Natsuki in Q&A form, and the video has actually been more or less edited, and that'll be out soon. There's the $1,200 target, which was to make a series of videos in Tokyo, the first of which was made about 2 or 3 weeks ago, as I said, going around and trying to find the best view in Tokyo. The video is going to be called Tokyo's Best View or Tokyo's Greatest View. What sounds better? Please write in the comment section. Tokyo's Best View or Tokyo's Greatest View? Let me know. And I'll be going to be making lots of videos in Tokyo soon. And the $2,000 target was to travel with Natsuki around and about somewhere. So, and also I put that to the vote as well for you guys to decide. It's looking like the place that we'll go for our 2 or 3 day video, our travel video together, is Tokyo. People ask for Akihabara. Wow, everybody's written greatest. Everybody's written Tokyo's greatest view. Wow, that's good. You know, I was going to put Tokyo's best view, but actually greatest does sound better, doesn't it? Greatest is stronger. This is such a unanimous decision by everyone. I don't think anyone's written best. Tokyo's greatest, bestest view. That exceeds the sky of time. I could use that. I think it might sound a bit mental, but yeah, all right. Tokyo's greatest, bestest view. Tokyo's greatest view. Tokyo's greatest view, 4 spots reviewed, 4 spots compared or something, maybe. Like I said before, I like numbers in it, and I visited 4 spots, so 4 spots reviewed. What else? Okay, yeah. So yeah, it looks like for our $2,000 video, the travel video with Natsuki, we might go to Akihabara. People really want us to go to Akihabara, and so that'll be on the cards. And actually, that could be part of the Tokyo series. So, but with the $2,000 target actually passed, we can actually visit more than one place. So I'm going to be writing about that later in the week. But yeah, we'll probably visit 2 places. Natsuki and I'll take 2 trips somewhere. Akihabara and Tokyo will be one, and then maybe the other one will be further afield, somewhere like Osaka or Kansai, something like that. So it should be cool. Weebs. Weeaboo. Someone's written weebs, which means weeaboo. This word weeaboo drives me fucking mad. A lot of you probably know what it means. This there's people commenting on my videos using the word weeaboo, and it really annoys me because, first of all, I didn't know what weeaboo was for just until like recently. Obviously, I've seen the video by Filthy Frank. People know, but the word weeaboo just annoys me because there's not that many weeaboos out there. I'm not doubting their existence. So I don't really have anything against anyone. You can be whatever you want to be. But a lot of people just use the word weeaboo way too much, and it drives me mad. So yeah, weeaboo, annoying word. Chris, your video is going mental. Damn it, god damn it, internet. All right, let's look at comment of the week. Comment of the week. Sorry if the internet's being weird. It seems to be fine here. It seems to say the connection's good, so don't know what's going on there. All right, comment of the week. Comment of the week. Let's see if I can find it. Here's the comment of the week. Chris, could you write a story based in Japan? There you go. Could I write a short? Seriously, I like that comment. It's very. Would I? No, I'm not going to write a short children's story based in Japan. I'm hardly the person appropriate to write a short children's story. But I like that comment. I like the idea. Maybe I will do it one day. Short children's story. Actually, the best comment of the week is by a guy called Harry Clams. What's wrong with this man's face? He doesn't look so much English, but rather Baltic. How do I look Baltic? How do you look Baltic? I don't even know what that means. But I don't know if he's joking or being serious. This is the weird thing. There you go. What's wrong with this man's face? So that's comment of the week. And most annoying comment of the week. Go fuck yourself. All right. Most annoying comment of the week. This was on my McDonald's video. Why would you order cold? Why would you order cold fries from Japan? Your vids stink. Fat loser. Fat loser. I think what annoys me about this is this is my most annoying comment of the week because I hate this. Fat loser. Fucking hell, if you're gonna call me a loser, at least spell it right, right? So annoying, fat loser. But yeah, those are the comments of the week and most annoying comment of the week. I'm really worried because lots of people are talking about the video quality being a bit near. So with a pic like that, he's damn serious. You do look fairly Lithuanian. Do I? I have a friend from Lithuania, and we don't look the same. But I'm going to take that as a compliment. I love this soundboard setup you have, says Peter. Yeah, I want a really good soundboard app. I had someone was actually developing a soundboard app for the Abroad Japan channel at one point. It was basically just Natsuki and all of his quotes like "I have a money" and "Wow," which I've used in the Patreon video. Yeah, the Natsuki soundboard app. It might well happen. It might well happen. Your audio's okay. Why do you bother with the trolls? Says Troy. Why do I bother with the trolls? Because they're hilarious. They're so entertaining. I did a questionnaire a few months ago about the most popular Abroad in Japan videos, and the second most popular video was the hate mail video from last year. So people love that video, and it's just me reading out comments. I usually put so much effort into these videos. I edit them, I make them look all nice and glamorous and wonderful, and then the most popular videos are just me sitting in a chair reading out comments about hate. So I guess that's why. And yeah, people love that video. So it's good to exploit something, some annoying people. It's good to take them and exploit them and make fun of them and make a video that people like. So yeah, that's why I feature trolls. Yeah. All right, let's look at some more questions. So we've got about 10 or 15 minutes left. It looks like every month then I'm gonna have to make this video an hour long, just because I knew this would happen. When I've done like a live show thing on Twitter before, and it just happens so quick, it's so fast. Let's look at some more questions then. Johan Zink. Johan Zink. This is someone that's sent a message in. That's a really cool name, by the way. Johan Zink. What a cool name. I've actually written in brackets here, Johan Zink. Cool name. So I actually thought it was so cool that I thought I'd write that down. Do you get homesick sometimes? Do I get homesick sometimes? Good question, and a very popular question. Sometimes. I do get homesick sometimes, more now than before. The first year, it wasn't really an issue, and then over the years, it's just become a bit more of an issue. Really though, no, because Skype, you know, I have my family call me and message me more now that I'm in Japan than I did back when I lived in the UK. I actually talk to my family more. And because of the nature of Skype and messaging, it's like people are actually in your pocket, isn't it? When you have your phone, it's like people are on your phone, like in your pocket. When my family message me on Skype, it's like, hello, yeah, bye. It's all really simple. So I don't get that homesick anymore just because of technology. If we didn't have this great technology, then it might be an issue. But yeah, no, homesick doesn't really happen that much. It's the UK that much either. And you've also said, I still have Kit Kats from September 15th, 2015. Shall I eat them? Yes, you should eat them. I imagine they'll be all right. 1-year-old Kit Kats. Has anybody got any experience of that? Don't know. But yeah, yeah, eat them. Eat them and send a picture. And good luck if you're sick everywhere. What else we got? How many questions? You know you're screwed when you can't read your own handwriting. Oh, look at that handwriting. It's all just covered in coffee because I've just sort of poured my coffee all over it. I'm an idiot. This is a good question. Richard Smales says, has there been a time during your stay there that you wanted to stop making YouTube and scrap the channel? Yeah, there has been a few times, Richard. Doing YouTube is a really weird thing. I've never been a very good YouTuber, as you know, because I guess I I don't make videos often enough, do I? The best YouTube channels always have like a video every day or every other day. And but I've always done it. It used to be once a month, and now it's every 2 or 3 weeks or something. Although I'm trying to make it weekly, and it will be weekly soon. But yeah, I guess there's always a real sense of pressure for me to try and make videos. But I only like making videos if I think it's going to be good, if I can release the best video I can. And sometimes it gets to me. I must admit, if Patreon hadn't worked out as it has, if Patreon hadn't worked out, huge thanks to you guys again for supporting the channel. The future of the Abroad in Japan channel would be a little bit more questionable. Yes, it would still be here, but it would be just, there'd be so many sponsored videos. I'd have to go down the sponsored route more, and it would just get shit. I do sponsored stuff now occasionally, although I don't talk about it much, but I actually turn down maybe 90% people that come to me with sponsorship ideas. I actually turn down many of them just because they're so shit. Like, you get people who just want you to sponsor the most weird things. Like, what's the weirdest thing I've had someone ask me to sponsor? I don't know, it happens a lot. And I didn't make this YouTube channel to sponsor fucking products and apps and things like that. But if Patreon hadn't worked out, I would have had to go down the sponsorship route more. I don't think I would have enjoyed doing this as much, and I suspect the channel might have been over then. Other than that, though, also another thing with YouTube is you can't ever switch off. You can't ever switch off. Once you reach sort of 100,000 subscriber level, you get bombarded with messages every day. And it's great. I love talking to people on Twitter, now, anywhere. But, Chris, you look like you're stop motion. Damn it. God damn it, internet. But, yeah, you can't ever switch off, though. It's a real big social media thing. And you feel consumed by social media. Even if I wake up in the morning, I look through comments on Twitter, on YouTube. I go to bed at night, I do the same thing. It really does consume you. So, that was another reason I thought about stopping. But I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to release another YouTube channel soon. Maybe on this channel that we're on now, which is Abroad Perspective, which is the new name of the channel. What do you think of that? Abroad Perspective. Is that a good name or a bad name? Please say it's good. I'm going to wait and see what people say in the comment section on that. But yeah, Abroad Perspective, because it's just going to be more opinions stuff, going like just more opinions. These days, it's just too much Japan stuff. So I'd like to do a few things that aren't related to Japan. What would you do if you did stop doing YouTube? Says Bevan. I think I'd become a filmmaker. I think I would actually throw my effort into being a filmmaker. That's the long game. That's the sort of the real aim from all this. My long-term aim is to try and make like documentaries and films and stuff. I don't want to be a YouTuber forever. Abroad Japan channel is the I think you could do a better name. I think the response, yeah, good. Okay, good. The Abroad Perspective name seems to be quite popular, so that's reassuring. Yeah, the Abroad Japan channel is a great sort of place to start featuring short films and stuff. So I really want to work on that. That's my plan. And I want to make a documentary about the area that I live now. As you know, in 2011, it was completely eradicated by a tsunami, and it was completely devastating. But interestingly, the prefecture now, Miyagi Prefecture, the state that I'm in, with Sendai, it has like the second highest number of startups in the whole of Japan. Because after the tsunami, a lot of people were like, shit, I actually want to do something that I want to do now. And many people went and started their own businesses. So entrepreneurship has exploded after the tsunami in Miyagi, which is really exciting. So I really want to cover that in a documentary, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and just go around interviewing different businesses and what they do. And that would be really cool. And I might be able, there's a chance sometime I might be able to get Ken Watanabe in a video as well. I'm not even making that up. So that would be pretty epic. I'm not just making that up. I'm not just saying, oh, yeah, I'll get Ken Watanabe. But he has a restaurant in a place called Kesenuma, which is a sort of portside town about 50 kilometers up the coast from here. And we know someone that knows him, basically. So we're going to try and ask him next time he's in town to look at his restaurant in Kesanuma. We're going to see if we can try and meet him and get him on camera. That would be insane, because for the last few years of doing this, I've always joked about it. Oh yeah, I'd love to meet Ken Watanabe. The fact that it could actually happen would be an absolute mindfuck. Can you imagine just Ken Watanabe like standing there? Maybe we'll put Natsuki in it as well. That could be risky. That could be very risky. But yeah, that would be pretty cool. So keep an eye on. You never know, Ken Watanabe might pop up. But yeah, documentary about entrepreneurship, the sort of rebirth from the ashes of Miyagi and the tsunami. So that could be really cool. And everyone loves stories of entrepreneurship, don't they? So yeah, that could be cool. But that's the long game. Yeah. Yeah. Meeting Natsuki, meeting what? Yeah, can you imagine Natsuki meeting Watanabe Ken? That would be incredible. Yeah, it would. I'm worried though. I've always thought about putting Natsuki in a live show. Trouble is, he tends to swear and have too many opinions that are dangerous. So I've been a little bit hesitant to mention. To celebrate having 500 Patreon supporters, we're going to hit that target hopefully in the next few days. Or we might not, I don't know. But we're like 3 away from 500 people. Once we hit that, I've got a video that I filmed about Natsuki and I playing this really shit drinking game. And it's a really funny video. Basically, the only thing is, it's just us kind of getting drunk in a room doing this game. You'll see what it is. It's a really horrific drinking game, but it was really funny. And I'm going to release that to people on Patreon once we pass the 500 people mark. Might release it to YouTube as well, but I don't know. I don't know if it's suitable for YouTube. I don't want to be like an advocate for drinking alcohol. Not you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, cool. What's the time? 10 to 9. Shit. Cool. Any more questions before we wrap things up? So the next live video will be in mid-September, and hopefully I'll be a bit more prepared then. And each month I'm going to try and change the time so we can get different people. It was a tough one between this time now or I think Saturday evening. So the next time we do it might be in the evening. But yeah, I want to try and change the time of the live video, just so we can make sure everyone gets a chance to be on here. Everyone gets a chance to see the video live, in which case, yeah, Patreon says you're up to 499. Actually, someone just pledged $1 seconds after. So we might have 500 Patreon people, might have 500 Patreon supporters now. So the video will be up over the weekend though. Natsuki and I are playing the world's worst drinking game. What are your thoughts of budget accommodation in Japan? Hostels, ryokans, Airbnb, says Matt. Everyone watching this has access to the weekly articles, and the article that's coming out today is about a 2-week itinerary I did in May when some friends came to Japan. And I'm going to post that itinerary. Rather than this week, rather than have an article, I'm just going to post my 2-week itinerary that my friends used when they came to Japan in May. So actually, all of you watching now, you can see my friends back in May. We went to all the sort of classic spots: Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima. But I've detailed how much it all cost, the places we stayed, and how we travelled around. So I'm doing it this week as the article because I thought it would be really useful for everyone and anyone looking to travel to Japan. So that'll be out later today. The Abroad Japan article, the best 2-week itinerary in Japan. And I've got to stop using the word best. I definitely go over the top. Yeah, 500 people are now supporting on Patreon. Awesome. Real thanks, guys. So I get the question often about doing a fan meetup. And I've never done a fan meetup in Tokyo, although YouTube events, like there's an event coming up in next week, I think, with YouTubers in having some sort of meetup in Roppongi, although I can't make it, unfortunately, because I'm moving into the new apartment. But I don't know, I might do a fan meetup someday. And if I do, of course, I'll bring Natsuki along. But strange, I'm still a little bit overwhelmed by the fact that so many people know who I am. And you know, I started doing YouTube when I was in a room, just in my apartment. Every month I'd make a video. But now it's reached the point when I'm in Tokyo, loads of people stop and say hello, which is really cool. I love saying hello to everyone. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's made me a little bit paranoid. Often I see people staring at me and I'm like, do they know who I am? And then they actually come, a lot of them come and actually talk to me and stuff. But I get spotted a lot in Tokyo and Osaka and Kyoto and stuff, major cities. Even Sendai, I've been spotted a few times. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a very good famous person. I don't know. Obviously, I don't consider myself to be famous, but in a very small sense, I kind of am when I go to somewhere like Tokyo. My record in one day, walking around in public, was probably maybe 10 people throughout a day in Tokyo have come and said hello. In restaurants, in the street, on trains, like everywhere, people just come and say hello. And that's really cool, but I don't know how to handle it. So if I did a fan meetup, I don't know what I'd do really. I don't know how I'd do it. And I don't know how many people would come. Maybe like 4 people, maybe 100. But yeah, I don't know. It's a creepy, scary thing. But I'd love to meet more viewers. I'd love to meet you guys. But, I don't know. If it means anything, you should be proud that even after you've gained your popularity, you're humble and haven't forgotten where you came from. And you should be proud of that. Thank you, Jenna. I think I'm humble. I don't know. I know I often post articles that the Abroad Japan channel's featured on like Facebook and Twitter and stuff. And every time I do it, it feels very narcissistic. Like, oh, look at me, I'm in the Nikkei newspaper. Oh, I'm in the Guardian. But like at the same time, no one's more surprised than I am about all this publicity. And I don't actually post a lot of the places that the Abroad Japan channel features just because I don't want to come across as even more narcissistic than I am. So the closest thing I had to a meetup, I suppose, was an impromptu meetup. Well, I was on a train in Tokyo, and a girl got on and started talking to me and recognised who I was, and I started talking to her. Station, another foreigner got on and recognised me and was like, "Oh my God, you're born in Japan." I'm like, "Yeah, hi." And they sat next to me, and like this train journey through Tokyo, as it sort of happened, more like it was like by the end of the trip, there was like 2 or 3 strangers who didn't know each other, but who all knew me, and we were all talking on this train. And I guess that was like a impromptu fan meetup, so that was quite cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Fans, YouTube. It will never go to my head. Don't worry. I don't think it'll ever go to my head. But yeah, great, cool. So we're going to wrap things up. And sorry about the internet being a bit shit. Obviously I can't see it from here. I don't know what it's like, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping it's not been awful. Next month I'll be in the new apartment. Hopefully the internet will be better there. But the backdrop will look better. This is shit. Look at that. All you've got here is a really bad kitchen, air freshener, Twinings tea, an electric box, and a toaster. But the new apartment is going to have like a nice shoji sliding door. There'll be a tatami mat. There'll be a view of there's going to be a view of another apartment out the window. Unfortunately, the view's not that great. But it'll be good. It might be the webcam. Maybe. I don't know. I'm definitely, this was a sort of prototype for the live show format, and hopefully next month it will be better, but it's a good start. So if you're watching in the future, thanks for watching in the future. If you couldn't make the live chat, sorry you couldn't make it, but I hope there's something useful from this live show. I'm not the sort of person who just likes to talk about nothing for an hour, so I hope there's something educational to be learned here, and I hope it was interesting. At the very least, now you know, when you come to Japan, you know what kind of food to eat. I haven't even tried my cereal bar yet. Yeah. This is the cereal bar you want. That's good, that is. And of course, pizza man. Well, it's freezing cold now, and I'm not going to eat that. But yeah, the microphone is crap. Shit, isn't it? Also, the sound levels are kind of shit. All right. Thanks for the feedback, though. I'm going to definitely go over this and try and work out how to make it better. So I think it's been a good first run, though. I think it's been all right. I don't know how I've managed to stay talking for an hour, effectively, to a bit of plastic. That's the weird thing about doing this, right? Another thing about doing YouTube is I still never get used to speaking to a camera. Look, here it is. Here's the camera. Do you know how hard it is to talk to a camera when there's no one there and try and act like there is someone there? Bloody difficult. It's the one thing I think that most people have problems dealing with when they think about doing YouTube. Anyway, great. Thanks for stopping by, guys. And again, a huge thanks for supporting the Abroad in Japan channel on Patreon. The article will be out later today about the best 2 weeks itinerary in Japan. Should be quite good. Good. Have a good sleep. Lots of people around the world. It's like 2 a.m., midnight, evening. Matt says, what camera is it? Lastly, it is a Canon 50, no it's not, it's a Canon 70D. Highly recommend. Really great camera. And now it's falling off the tripod shit. All right, good. Good night, everyone, and good morning, and good evening, and good night. I stole that line from the Truman Show. Thanks, guys. All the best. How do you stop this broadcast? Stop broadcast button.